Welcome to Exit Frag. I'm Zeph. I'm joined by Esports Andy. Today we are going to be talking about all the upper bracket teams that made it to Masters Toronto, and we're going to be talking about their chances at that tournament. Now, at the time of the recording, not all of the teams have been finalized. I believe we still have all of EMEA to be decided, and we still have Paper Rex versus DRX. That will be happening later on tonight. So we will not be talking about any of those teams, but we will be talking about. Andy will be talking about some of the Chinese teams because I know, fuck all about that. And, but yeah, let's talk about some America's teams right now. Let's start with the number 3. It is MIBR. Now, at the beginning of the season, MIBR, we saw a lot of flashes of potential. They had Nauser in, and then they made a weird move where they ended up dropping Nauser again. I mean, rest in peace, my dog. And then they picked up Verno. Verno has been a blessing for this team. We discussed all the drama that involved Verno in the previous video, so if you haven't watched that one yet, go ahead and check out that one. We talked about Americas in general. Now, Verno has been an incredible player. He's one of the highest ACS players in Americas according to VLR, and he has been, pretty much like what the team needed in order to qualify. Now, granted, their finish is exactly the same, so they have technically, they have qualified to Masters Toronto, but they finished the same place as they did the previous time, which is third. And yeah, but I'm particularly excited about this team. I mean, they beat 100 Thieves, they beat Crew, like they're quite good. But against Sentinels, it
Yeah,
was
that's the one fear. Is like they kind of like are they just gonna hit a ceiling because they might have so many good like players because you have ASPAS already, and then you put in Verno who you don't really have to worry. Oh, is he gonna get kills? Is he gonna like if is he gonna make plays? He's always gonna make plays. He's a really talented player on his own. Um, and so now and everyone's just feeling good about this team now. Like within the team, the chemistry's great. So they're gonna beat like teams that just might have a little bit of gaps, like Crew or 100 Thieves. But then the kind of fear, I guess, for a lot of fans is like they went 1-5 against the other teams that made like in playoffs with this roster in the teams that are making the Masters Toronto. So, and they only that one match they won was just their pick a haven, which kind of went normally. But then after that, after they lose like a overtime on Lotus, it's kind of over.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think MIBR had a little easier road than other teams, but we also have to remember that they did end up earning their road. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, I mean they started off in playoffs. I mean, though those wins in the season they do matter at the end of the day. But
Yeah, and they beat Cloud9, so
yeah.
it's they needed to win, and winning that one was set them up so well in their group. And
Mm.
I'm just interested to see what they actually do with some time off
Yeah,
to soup up this team.
yeah, I think they're going to have some pretty stiff competition, especially for the top 2 teams of every single region. Like that
Yeah,
they're gonna play with teams that are on the same or equal level as Sentinels in G2. So
hmm
we're gonna have to see like how truly good they are whenever they have to face that caliber of team from a different region. Can't counterstrat them as easily in those cases.
yeah.
Anything else to say about MIBR?
No, not really. I think they don't have too big of a chance. I think it's still too early for them to make a real run.
Yeah, and if anything, the only like real X factor that they have, I think, is either Verno or ASPAS. But we'll see how Verno adjusts to the international stage. All right, let's quickly move on to number 2 place. It is Sentinels. Now, Sentinels had an almost immaculate run. I mean, I mean, obviously they weren't immaculate during group stage, but they really turned up during playoffs. They beat Cloud9. They beat G2 in a fucking barn burner of a match. And then they had to like go up against MIBR. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they whooped them, but they definitely made it interesting. And then against G2, I don't know what happened. There was just like not that much fuel in the fire, and G2 ended up winning.
I just I think it really was like once the playoffs started, it was clear who the two top teams were, especially when Sentinels and G2 went head to head. Because I thought G2 was going to run away with, like, I guess everyone really did after split, like winning 13-5 and then just kind of. I don't know. I didn't like their G2's comp choices. I don't like Waylay on Ascent, which they played again. Which I'm hoping they change because Jajimo does like can play another. He can play like Neon maybe, or he can play like Jet again. I don't know. I just don't like how Waylay is being played on Ascent, and they could win those games. Like they should have won in the upper semifinals, and then they did win. But I think it was more that G2 just has really good strats.
Mm. Yeah, I agree.
And then Sentinels just has a hard time breaking through, like when they really need to.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think G2 kind of let themselves go a little bit. I mean, I'll talk about that here in a bit, and maybe that's what allowed Sentinels to like play better. But I think things are picking up. I mean, Array is playing a lot better. I mean, Bang had some pretty
Yeah,
nice moments throughout the tournament. I mean, Zellsis, I feel like he, for the most part, is just kind of the vibes merchant, but he does have his moments. And then, I mean, Zekken, I mean, I feel like sometimes the clutch factor doesn't kick in, but other than that, he just needs to regain his like incredible form, and it'll be fine.
I think this team now, especially with JohnQT no longer being like back last year when they won, he was the rookie IGL.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like experienced. Like I have faith in going forward. I have faith in him being able to lead a team. Right now, he has a really good team on his hands.
Yeah,
Narrate is like you say, he's fitting into his role on the team. We'll talk later about like the Tejo changes and like they might be coming in that might change up all these different teams, but I don't think they're going to be ones that are really, really, really going to hurt from that. I think Sentinels has a good idea of what they want to do and who they want to activate. Bang has been looking. I feel like has been a good fit, and then I think even when they lost on Ascent, even when like G2 should have done a lot better, um, and even though they won, I think Sentinels had some good ideas, and Zellsis was getting like some fun collads, and like he was just doing pretty good. I think when this team's on fire, they can win another like trophy. I just think I don't know if they would actually like. We saw in the G2. I think some teams are even better at strategic stuff. Like it's not just about. I don't know. I just think other teams just have better strategy. Like overall, they just have better ideas. I think Sentinels have good individual people, and in the game, they can come up with interesting ideas.
yeah. Agree with everything said there. I mean, I hope this is not the same case as last stage where Sentinels don't win grand finals and then they go on the flop in the tournament. I'm hoping to see a bit more of a run this time around. I feel like there is a little more leeway to like have more errors throughout the upcoming tournament, but like I said, I'm really hoping that that's not the case.
I would be pretty bummed if they had Erisk because, like, at least they're not having. I don't think they'll have another 1-13 map against Team Liquid or a 3-13 map against DRX.
Sure.
Like, I thought they were one of the worst teams in Bangkok, and I think all their players are really connecting better. I think
Yeah.
they'll do. They should do better.
And for new roster woes, making an international event is pretty good. Okay, let's move on
Yeah, they've
to
been.
the final team. Let's talk about G2 Esports. The biggest shocker here really was that Sentinels match. I mean, losing to Sentinels was, pretty shocking. I mean, it was a hell of a match. Sentinels definitely stepped up to their level. But I think for the most part, or at least, in the player interviews, I think the general sentiment is that G2 stepped down to Sentinels levels and not the other way around. And I think you definitely could see that in the grand final. I mean, G2 just seemed to have like a way better understanding of the entire map pool as a whole. And it hurt Sentinels because they were not ready for the long run, and G2 definitely was. Now, that being said, they did have to face Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses were on almost the most incredible run in Americas since their previous run. And they almost qualified for Toronto. They end up not qualifying, and I think mostly because of a yay mistake. But when we're talking about their lower final match and their grand final match, it's clear that any of their woes from their previous matches were fixed, because them dropping only 2 maps in 2 consecutive back-to-back best of 5s is crazy. It shows how good they really are.
Yeah, I think people were kind of overreacting with, and now definitely people are overreacting. Like, people were like, "Oh, G2 might not be the best team. They might not even make Toronto." Like, because they had to win in 3 maps, both against Lev and Cloud9 at the end of Split 1, Stage 1, and then of course lose to Sentinels and 2 close maps and everything. After that, all their games were pretty close. They could have been eliminated a lot. I just think they still looked really sure of themselves. Like, consistently, they looked in control when, like, after losing to Sentinels. After that, they just looked in control. Like, oh, we're not gonna let it get too out of hand. We're gonna trade off each other. If we lose someone, we can still win a 4v5 because we have a good protocol set up, and Sentinels or MIBR is gonna make a mistake, like,
Right.
or EG is gonna make a mistake, and that's like what like good teams do, is just let the other team like have good protocols and then just take what the other team gives them.
Yeah, and I also think part of it is like, like a lot of emotions carry some of these playoff mistakes and stuff like that. And I mean, I was watching a lot of the interviews. Like, sometimes I can't catch like the matches the day of, so I ended up watching like the interviews after. And a lot of them was like like emotion on the side of the players, like thinking about their loss in Bangkok, and then coming into here and feeling like, oh, like now everyone's like watching them, everyone's basically like trying to counter strat them specifically, or play against their meta. And I think you definitely like felt that throughout the stage and throughout playoffs. But man, I think they're on their way, and I think that them overcoming like these emotional issues right now is going to help them at Toronto to win. I still think they're going to win Toronto. Even after maybe like them being thrown down to lower bracket, they're still my favorite to win Toronto. I think it makes. I mean, if you're a script writer, it makes the most sense. And I think they've last time they overcame their grand final woes, that they couldn't win grand finals or best of 5s. This time they overcame their emotional woes in playoffs. So I think in Toronto we're finishing the story.
I think it's going to be the start of a new dawn. I believe that an Ascension team will win, but it's a different champion.
Okay.
It's going to be Zhao
Xiao
Li.
Gaming. Oh my god. There's no way.
They're
Man.
gonna win. Rarga's gonna be supreme. It's kind of crazy that well, I guess only 2 can win now, because I don't think any EMEA did all the EMEA Ascension teams not make playoffs?
Apex did
I
not.
think
Yeah,
they all
Gentlemates
like
did not.
fumbled.
Nope, nope. They're all home.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, 50%. That's kind of crazy that 50% of the like of the leagues, like the winners of the split stage one, were ascended teams.
Yeah, and just to like catch everyone up, if you are not watching the EMEA stuff right now, in the first seed of EMEA, we have Team Heretics and Team Liquid. Then we have BBL versus Navi for the round one. We have Fnatic versus Foot Esports round two. Automatically in the lower bracket, we have Carmine Core and Team Vitality, which is, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of EMEA, but to think that fucking Vitality is all the way down there is crazy too. I don't
Wait,
know.
and so it'd be. I'm just looking at who goes down if they lose. Okay. Okay. Then I was
Navi.
hoping that Team Heretics could somehow play Team Vitality. No, there's no possible way. I just wish they could play each other in an elimination match in the lower round.
Yeah.
Team Heretics and Team Vitality.
Yeah, I'm actually rooting
Man.
for Fnatic in EMEA. I mean, obvious reasons. Crashy's my boy, so I'm rooting for him. They've looked in form. I think they're undefeated this split, so I'm excited for that.
I'm a big. I think Team Heretics. That's like one of the only teams. Like they've looked really good in this recent split. Like if people have been following them, they've been pretty good, and they're one of the teams that like could be threatening G2. Like I'd love to see them play again.
Hold up. Somebody must have lost because Fnatic played Team Heretics. Fnatic
Yeah,
beat
because Team Heretics.
Shoot. Okay.
Because Team Heretics is looking back to their normal self. They're not like trash anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Team Heretics beat Fnatic. Other way around. Okay, got it. But yeah,
yeah, like
holy, they did trash him. That's crazy.
So G2 has a good chance to win, but I think Team Heretics is a good team going in. Gen G I think is going to be scary. I think there's a couple scary teams that people, if you've just been watching Americas, you might be like thinking, oh, okay, these Team Heretics was garbage before. You know, and EMEA has like connection issues, so every team in EMEA must suck.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, that's not the case. I am praying on the downfall of one team.
What?
I'm praying on the downfall of RRQ. Because fuck crazy guy. Fucking cloud chaser. Anywho.
RQ. That was crazy that like right when what's his name started supporting
Chobra.
Yeah, Chobra started like not supporting RQ anymore. They finally get over the hump and like win.
Hey,
but they only needed to win one.
Yeah. But hey, I mean that's what happens when you play well in the regular season. That's what happens when you play well.
Yeah.
So they definitely
and they did beat DRX, which I think is the best. I think it'll be interesting if Paper Rex somehow comes in again. I'll never count them out, even if like I'll put them back up at like a possible winner.
Bro, half of the fucking
if they beat DRX,
half of the fucking VCT community is in fucking Stockholm syndrome with this roster. I swear, just let it go.
I believe. They beat Boom. Boom was like undefeated, and then they choked. But
yeah, okay,
it was a bummer. I was really hoping Boom was gonna beat Paper X.
Yeah, and then and EDG did not make it. Shout out Simon for being a crash
EDG
out.
didn't. And I was gonna say, like China was like the craziest finish because we have Wolves Esports, Billy, and XL Gaming,
XLG.
and yeah, so like
I'm excited.
Most
I'm
of the
excited
teams
to see
that-
the new Chinese teams.
Yeah, we get to see a whole new like rotation.
Actually, I might be rooting for Billy this time around. That's insane to think about. Like, I don't have no energy beef anymore. Like, I know they suck now.
I want Wolves. I want Wolves to win so that we get like.
I need the
Are
Billy
they
Billy
really
win.
owned by like the? Is Wolves actually owned by that football team, like the soccer team? I mean.
No, it's the other way
Oh,
around. Wolves owns the soccer team.
yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
a
this is just their
man. I
esports
really can't wait
branch.
until they do like a handshake. They bring all the Chinese players and like they do a day with the soccer players.
Oh yeah. All
And they
right.
get shake hands and stuff. And
That's the goat right there, and it's just fucking one of the players
it's
from.
just spring.
Yeah, it's just
It's
spring.
just juicy.
Okay, well, that'll do
But
it for
I mean,
this. I was gonna say, okay. That'll do it for this episode of Exit Frag. Just pure shenanigans at the end. If you like it, subscribe. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll see you then.